Hello and welcome to the web house for right now. It's late in May and we've borrowed a video camera because we're going to give you the Armpit of America tour. Steph spent the last 3 years out here and I've spent the last 4 years out here just trying to deal with this part of the country, and we all thought you should know just how much fun it's been. So we're going to take you on the tour of the house today, and then about a few minutes your time, but tomorrow morning our time, we're going to take you around school and we'll show you some of MIT, which is more of the fun part of this part of the state. So Steph will fade me out now. We'll talk to you later. Okay, welcome back. Out on the street now in front of our house. You should be able to hear the freeway a little bit. Standing here almost on the hood of our car. This is our car. This is the neighbor's house. And this here is the house we're living in, with one of our neighbors sitting on the porch. And these two windows on the left of the door are where our apartment actually is. So I'll go ahead and take you inside now, I just want to give you a feel for the house we're in. You can see that it was originally one large house. It's now split into two separately owned sets of apartments. There's actually 4 apartments in this section, and probably several over here. And this is a dead-end street down here too. So I will fade you out now, and we'll meet back inside with Stefanie to see the apartment. And here we are back inside now, and this is the door to our apartment. And I'll show you, this is out to the front door this way, and this is up the stairs to the rest of the apartments here. So go ahead and inside now, and we'll see Steph sitting over on the side here, trying to hide from the camera. You can see this is really only one small room. I'll zoom back a little more to get more, but that's as far as we go. Here's the TV and VCR. Here's our bed, good 3 inches off the ground. And here's Dad's computer and my computer hiding in here. We'll come on in now so we can close the door. See out, here's one of the windows out to the front yard. And our lifesaver for the past few days, this fan. I'll back up over here, and you can see the kitchen. Here's the little fridge we have, and this little kitchen that's actually in the same room as our bedroom, living room, and everything else. And that's the pantry there. A window, TV, VCR, closet, nothing really huge. And this is the head of the bed, and also the beautiful marble fireplace that we've had. It's not actually a fireplace anymore, but it's still awfully pretty to look at, and there are thousands of pictures, and my hero opus in the corner there. Bookshelf, and the door to the bathroom. The bathroom is itty bitty to say the least. You get over here, I could con Steph to go in and turn the light on. Maybe we could see just how small it is in there. I'm tricking her because she's actually in the film now. She didn't want to be. She's walking away again. That's the shower, and if I were to take you inside, you wouldn't be able to see anything because it'd be too darn close. So, and here's our rocking chair, which isn't used for sitting really. And my desk, and you can see the mounds of garbage I keep on the desk here, and the computer, which takes up about 2/3 of the desk, and the chair, which is also covered with stuff. So this is our apartment. This is where we've lived for the last couple of years. It's not amazing, it's not wonderful, but it did. And so this is the deal. Anyway, well, I'll go ahead and fade you out now, and we'll meet you tomorrow at school, and we'll show you around there a little bit. Well, we're going to start you out today here. This is just outside the Oval, Kresge Oval here at MIT. And the things Mike's shooting for you here is the Society for Creative Anachronism. See a bunch of people dressed up in semi-armor beating the snot out of each other. If we wait here for a second, it should be fun. We'll watch them go at it again. I still don't understand how they keep points for this. So as I've told you before, we work hard here, but we play hard too. We come out and beat each other up with fake swords. Oh, what fun. That just gives you a taste sort of attitudes we have around here. So Why don't we move on and I'll show you the dorm next. Okay, so what you're looking at now is McGregor dorm, and Mike started out on the room that both Mike and I occupied at one time or another. That's the tower part of the dorm, and there's also a low-rise that wraps around that part. This is where I spent my first year, and the field just opposite this is where I spent my Navy ROTC time. You can see that this is about a 16-floor tower, and I think there's only a couple other on campus that are quite as big, and those are the married housing places. I just wanted you all to get a feel for the dorm we were living in. This is probably a good 5-10 minutes from the main part of campus, so it wasn't too bad. And it's right across from the field here, so that wasn't too bad either. So as soon as Mike gives you a shot of the field, he'll fade you out and we'll meet you back to look at Kresge and the Student Center. Okay, so you can see we're back down the street a ways, see McGregor, and this is Kresge Oval we're standing in, and that's the Kresge Theater. It's one of the bigger theaters that was built several years ago, and where some of the movies are held at times. It's also where a lot of the plays, the Musical Theater Guild, and so forth is held. Quite a nice theater, but often it looks like it's landed. And a little more over to the right, pan through me, and you'll see this is the Student Center, Stratton Student Center. Large bay windows there, just sort of a commons area. Down underneath the stairs there is an ice cream store, record shop, bookstore, restaurant, various other things. Awfully nice place to go and eat, but not really good for studying or much else. So you see a little bit of the chapel here as well. We'll go ahead and move back out now and take you inside MIT itself. Wait for what? We're now walking past the Student Center up to 77 Massachusetts Avenue, which is sort of the main door. You can see one of the large pillars. There's actually two main areas, and this is the first one we'll show you. We'll show you some later.
Yeah, it was close enough, I guess.
This is a very well-frequented crosswalk. When we get up here, we might have a good shot showing you what we joke about. It's about a 50-50 chance when this light turns red that somebody will run it in there. Not on a good day.
Yeah, in fact, we just caught one of them. Well, shall we proceed across?
Go ahead and go across the street here. See the William Barton Rogers founder. Hack that Mike and I talked about quite a bit would have been to change that to flounder because it wouldn't have been too difficult. Walk up the main steps here. These are the doors that just about every student will walk through one time or another. We'll be walking into one of the two main lobbies. This will be lobby 7.
These are the first automatic doors in the United States. They still work. It's pretty neat.
So you're now looking down the infinite corridor. And if Mike can zooming down the corridor. It's approximately a quarter-mile long. It runs through several building numbers, but it's still one part of one main building. We'll take you out the door at the other end later on and show you what's on the other side of campus. Mike can sort of pan up. You'll see that this is 3 stories that you can walk on, plus several for the dome. It's quite high. This is only one of the 2 main domes on campus. This is actually the smaller one. There's a larger one that we can show you later, which is actually and that dome lives over top of one of the libraries here on campus. actually walk you down the corridor now, and we'll show you some of the more impressive sights along the corridor. First thing that you may notice about the hallways and the pillars around here is that everything's free game for posters. And they tried to enforce laws about this, so they come through and clean them off once in a great while, but it rarely works. And this intersection we're coming up on is the sort of the first crook of the large horseshoe shape of the main building. I can give you a shot down this hallway and you'll see how big this main building is. That one goes down quite a ways as well. Mike pans back across and you see this is one of the several Athena clusters. This is the most visible as everybody walks by it all the time. Because of the large windows, everybody always says they feel like they're living in a fishbowl, so it's become affectionately known as the fishbowl. And just for anachronistic quality, later on when we're watching this, these machines are RF6000s, and the small ones in the corners are backstations. And if we'd been here a couple of weeks ago, you'd have seen this place completely packed. Because of finals week, this is where everybody lives for a while. Go ahead and walk you down a little bit more next to the second main lobby, which is lobby 10. Lobby 10 is actually the center of the infinite corridor, so when you get down this lobby, you're only halfway to the end. And this will be the lobby that is actually inside the sort of the classic MIT shop you see. And you see again, this is sort of a larger room. You won't be able to see the dome because, like I say, that's about 5 more floors up. And top of library. Since classes are over, people are doing just about anything they want in there now. Mike can push outside and you can see the back of the graduation platform. I'm sure you'll see the front of on yet another videotape in a few days. So we'll show you a little farther down a little bit later on, but we're going to go back right now and show you the office where I've worked for the past few years. So Mike can fade you out, and we'll be back in a sec. And we're on the second floor of lobby 10, so this is the same lobby we were just in. Back, the same opposite direction. Whereas the office I work in is up on this floor. Interesting points about the infinite corridor. Here you can see we're looking back out through lobby 7 outside again. Twice a year, the sun sets just right over there behind Kresge to shine all the way down the infinite corridor so you can see the sun from one end to the other. And it's quite a sight. Now, you can say anything derogatory or positive you want as we walk by this office here, because this is the president's and the provost's office. The president, when I started school, was Paul Gray, and when I'm graduating, it's Charles Best, who should be here for quite a while. And a little bit farther. And now we're right above the fishbowl where we were downstairs a minute ago. And as Mike pans right here, you'll see the blue doors, which is opening the office that he and I both work in right now. It's information systems. Go ahead and walk through the helpline. That's exactly where we work. On the right here is the microcomputer training lab. That's where I started. And after about a year of that, I got talked into working on the helpline, which was originally upstairs from here, but has since moved down to this office on the left. I'll have to go up and open the door for you. Big key zone. Even though classes are over, people are still frequenting. Over here on the left side is the office. This whole setup should be changing fairly soon, as we spent quite a bit more money the other day.
Walk away at number 124 on the top 501. This Memorial Day weekend, WZLX 100.7 FM. Walk away was number 124. Before that, we had London at Watching the Wheels at 125. 126 was YouTube's Pride and Nemo Low, and the Dead started out that set there. 127 Boxes Rain. Grateful Dead. We also met Great Woods. And WZLX welcomes you back to the August 20th and 22nd at Fox Sports Stadium. It's tracks here today. Now, coming up next at number 123, a song about Marilyn Monroe. There's only two songs I can think of offhand about Marilyn Monroe in the rock and roll.
You can imagine we had just about all these computers in the room, about half the size upstairs a year or so ago. Now that I've showed you the office, why don't we move back on and we'll show you what's out at the other end of the infinite corridor.
Also, Lindsey Buckingham's solo stuff, and John McPhee's Gotta Been. We'll compare and contrast, along with Black Rose and so much more. Future Classics at 7 o'clock with Lee Track.
Well, and as appropriate, this is these two doors are the doors to the cashier's office. So in the end, this is where all those thousands of dollars went, and where I'll eventually be sending all the money to pay off those loans. But dollar bill is quite cute. At Christmas time, old George gets a Christmas hat. He's often the butt of several acts. We'll move on outside the infinite corridor now. You can see there's still quite a bit left. This part of the building isn't terribly exciting, but now we're coming up on the other corner of the horseshoe. Down this end were several of the lecture halls and I frequented for my humanities classes and stuff. So we're almost to the end, so we'll go ahead and move on out. One of the reasons we're doing this in real time is to give you a feel for just how long it does take to walk this half of campus. Because really, when you get out to the building, we're only halfway across campus. Still quite a bit more left. Here's one of our more favorite labs, the high temperature corrosion. We always theorized about interesting things we must be doing in there. So we'll just move on down. This is the guy in the middle here, is Professor Vitt, who is still teaching today and still quite a cool guy. One of our favorite friends at the helpline, is he's always buying the most up-to-date stuff and coming and asking us how to use it. Before we walk up into the door here, though, let's hang a left and I'll show you the more interesting doors. Because these buildings were built all separately, the door sizes weren't always normal. And the store was finally locked for good, but there was a time when there was a sign hanging up here said you couldn't be a major in the material science and engineering department without being under 5'7" or so. And there's also a gnome sign, I think, that came up here for a little while. That was pretty funny. We'll go ahead and move out into the corridor now, and we'll show you the green building and one of the various strange sculptures they tend to put up around here. And this is one of the parallel legs of the horseshoe down there. So we're looking at here, I believe, is building 18, and it's what we affectionately call the bus turning left. And as you go out and look out front, it has that feel for it. And also behind that, you can see the windowless side. That's the library over there, and then behind the building 18 here is the windowless side of the green building. Another common joke was that building 18 was actually a twin to the green building and fell over. So they just dealt with it that way. The green building is the Center for Earth and Planetary Science Department. That's why the large ball on top. Go ahead and fade you out, and we'll move you over to the Great Sail. Okay, so now we're standing at the base of the green building, and I like shooting the top of it. See all the windows here? There's an equal number of windows on the other side, and since there always seems to be somebody working here, the joke is that all the lights in the green building go out, the universe must be coming to an end. So we always keep track of that. It's also common for hacks. And now you're looking at the Great Sail. They actually had a problem when they built this, that the wind would come down through this foundation here so fast that you couldn't open the doors. So this piece of sculpture you're looking at actually has the functionality that it breaks the wind, so you can actually get inside. It still gets quite windy down here though, because the river is just beyond that. You can see this is quite a large building, and there is a $50 fine for being found on the roof of any MIT building, but because this one was the most popular, they increased the fine by an order of magnitude. It's $500 if you get caught up there. Looking down this way, this is the dorm on the right here is East Campus dorm. It's one of the two centers. And you'll see over there's also another sculpture which is known as Transparent Horizons, and nobody knows why, because it's quite visible. It's also the butt of several hacks. One of my most favorite was when they changed the sign on it from Transparent Horizons to the Big Black Scrap Heap, because that seems a lot more appropriate. And as you look off down the end of the street here, you'll see the Media Lab, which looks like an outdoor bathroom. Some tiles, and beyond that, the medical center. The Media Lab is where Mike worked for a little while, and as Wes put it so well once, it's the mecca of neat things. I have to agree completely. Well, that's sort of the generic tour of campus. We're going to move off now, see if we can get you some lecture halls and maybe some more of the more humorous spots on campus. See you in a bit. Okay, we're now in building 66, which is an interesting building, as it's a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, and only at MIT. And Mike's peering into one of the several doors. This is sort of common for looking in the lab down here. You can see it's filled with various strange hardware. Half the fun of walking around MIT is looking in the doors and thinking what they just might be doing in there. Anything from winning Nobel Prizes to creating Frankenstein. You never know. So, we're going to go over to the biology building and show you some of the more interesting rooms over there. The refrigerated room and the rooms that you just as soon never be inside. Okay, now we're on the second floor of building 66. A little less populated, so you can probably hear me a little bit better. I'm just going to start walking down here and give you an idea of the strange rooms and things we see up here. So everything's a bulletin board, as usual in MIT. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a BL2. These come in 3 flavors, BL1, 2, and 3. The 3s are only actually inside rooms with 2s on them. Those are biological hazards. There's also a radioactive hazard room. This is a good one. The joke is if you're hacking at MIT and you come into a room in the non-conventional manner and you walk out the door and it says BL3, you might as well just lay down right now because it's going to be over soon. So, I've also had a problem with drinking from the water fountains in this building. It just sat with me now. Move down a little bit. It's pretty common on these floors and all the other floors to have these BL warnings on just about every door. The one on the left here has a BL1, and the one on the right has another BL1. What we're doing, it's weird. And over the left here, we have another biohazard room. This is a refrigerated room. Normally they light the inside, but you can't see that right now. And a very big refrigerator door with something in there. Once again, you can only speculate what they might be doing in there, and sometimes that worries me. Now we'll see if we can find some more interesting things to show you. And down a little bit farther, here's the water fountain I never wanted to drink from. Yet another radioactive material door. A little close, too. Look into some of these items and see how interesting they look. I think the thing that probably worries me most of all is that some of these doors are open and people like eat lunch in here. I don't think I could bring myself to do that. I'm the BL2 biohazard and radioactive. Full of strange and interesting things. Getting almost to the end of this part of the biology building. Thankfully, they are building a new biology building. Stay away. They are building a new biology building for these people right now, so they will be separate from the rest of us. That'll probably make people a little more happy. Yeah. Has no garbage bags, and I'll stay right out. Go through the doors here. Walking back towards the main building now, there's not much else interesting to see. We'll come back to you in a second. Oh, yes, yet another row of BL2s and the biohazards. We'll go ahead and fade you out on this now, and we'll see you again in a bit. The Crate Testing Laboratory. You can only theorize about what's in there. Let's go see what else we can find. There's yet another one, same department, fatigue research. Well, you know they sure have a lot of candidates on this campus to test this. This is not so much a hack as this is just one of the more famous doors on campus. This is Professor Morrison. A lot of us have heard of it from Nova. We'll move on to the next one. Thanks. Now we're in the math department, and nobody can pass up a good opportunity. Okay, we're looking here at the forge. Even in this age of high technology, MIT still has a good old-fashioned forge. So we have glass working, metal working, and ceramic work down here. It's too bad we couldn't catch them on a working day. It is quite fun to see them. To these people who use high-speed computers and are often eating the snot out of iron with a hammer. For those of you who've read Tolkien will recognize this name. It's not really being a professor, but actually real name Kobb. Of course, there's a lot of people here who read that stuff, so it's pretty common to see stuff like this around. Other than the department name on this door, this seems like a good old-fashioned professor's door I would find in these halls. Strange names and all, but still could really be a professor. As Mike moves around the corner here, though, you'll see why this door is a really good hack. Because in fact, there's nothing there at all. One of the best jokes that ever happened is a freshman was actually told to meet his freshman advisor in this room. And not being able to get into the door, he actually asked people where the room was. This door's been here since I've been here, and they haven't done anything about it, so it's a long-standing hack. Well, that's it. That's just about all we could come up with to show you around here. We couldn't get into any of the lecture halls, but get an idea for how much fun we have and how big a place this is and how thankful we are to coming home for good. I'd like to thank Steph for helping out at home and thank Mike for taking all the pictures here at campus. Why don't you take a wave, Mike? And that'll be it for right now, and we'll see you later.